Welcome back to Dr. Supercoach YouTube for Pigs Round 23 Captains. Here we are, the second last round of the season, deep into Supercoach League finals, climbing for that last ranking. This is going to be an important round, so let's get into it. I know this video is coming to you late. I know that it's shorter than normal, but there's a reason for that. I've been in Broken Hill for nearly the entire week this week. It's Friday now. I'm pretty much recording this in my lunch break, just trying to get it out to you. I haven't had the time to go into the in-depth research I normally do. It normally takes 2 to 3 hours worth of research each week that I do between research, making the presentation, the recording, the editing, all that. I don't have time to do that today. It's Friday, trying to get it to you. So I've got my rankings and I've got my top 10 recommendations that I'm going to recommend to you. It's not going to take as long, and I'm not going to go into as much detail of each one. Just going to wing it a little bit. Let's see how we go. Number 3 VC option is Rowan Marshall. He has been in great form the last few weeks, absolutely dominating. Comes up against Essendon, who, as we know throughout the season, are just one of the easiest ruck matchups in the league. Whether it's Goldstein, Vizentini, it'll probably be Goldstein. I just expect Rowan Marshall to be able to run rings around him. Marshall's not someone that normally gets a lot of hit-outs anyway, so, Goldstein still does okay in that area, but it's more just around the ground. Marshall's someone who can easily get 20 disposals, 5 tackles, 5 marks, and I don't really see a way where Goldstein could stop him doing that. Number 2 vice-captain, Nasiah. Pretty stiff probably not to be number 1. He's just in elite form, absolutely killing it, and now he just comes up against Essendon, who I've been saying for weeks, months, are tanking, and they are paying no attention to the opposition's best players. Nasiah's been probably the best player in the comp over the last few weeks. He's getting a lot more midfield time, but he's still getting back into defence and getting a lot of those kicks, and I just don't see anyone from the Essendon midfield being able to go with him. He'll probably go forward he'll probably drift forward and kick 2 goals in this game and really boost his score, so this could be a monster. The only person I would recommend that you probably don't, if you pass on Nasiah, it's probably only for this guy, and that's just Max Gawn. In good form, but also a matchup with Lloyd Meek, who's been giving up plenty of points this year. His opponents are just dominating, so Max Gawn, I really like Nasiah, but Nasiah's kind of shown that, that around that 150, he did get a 160, they're amazing scores. But we know Max has a 200 ceiling in him at some point. He's already done a 198 this year. He's done 200s in the past, so it's probably just, as your VC, I want to go for the highest possible upside. And to me, that's Max. But if you don't have Max, Nasiah is absolutely elite. Pod vice captain is Jack Sinclair. And not necessarily because he's lowly owned, because, he's quite a popular option. It's just that everyone is obsessed with Nasiah right now. And if you owned both Jack and Nasiah, I would pretty much guarantee everyone in that position is looking at Nasiah as a vice captain. For good reason, but if you want to zig while others are zagging or zag while others are zigging, I don't know which one Jack is. But if you want to kind of go away from the pack and get a bit of a pod, because everyone's going to be going on Nasiah, if you want a bit of a pod, I think Jack actually won't be vice captain by that many people. Although, if you are someone that doesn't own Nasiah, if you've got a lack of wang in your life, then I think Jack Sinclair is a really, 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 really good option this week. Same thing as I said against Nasiah. Essendon just don't give a shit. They are just trying to get to the end of the season, and Jack Sinclair's on this big run of just averaging 30 disposals over the last month, taking nearly all the kick-ins. He's just a brilliant option. And then, now let's look at some captains. So Zach Butters, he's playing Carlton. There is the chance that someone like George Hewitt maybe does a little roll with him, but Carlton are actually just a mess at the moment, a bit like Essendon. They're kind of falling apart, so their midfield is not restrictive at all. In fact, they've been quite easy to score on lately in that midfield department. So I think Zach Butters is one of the best Supercoach players in the comp and could absolutely rip Carlton apart here if they don't tag him. I don't really see a reason for them to, so, although they did do it against Sarong a couple of weeks ago, so maybe this is one where you more of a draft option. If you've got Zach Butters in draft, I'd still be expecting 100, 110, 120. So that's an option for you. This one's, I think, people probably are sleeping on a bit. Lachie Whitfield against Gold Coast Suns, who have been just leaking points to defenders all year. I mean, we've been targeting them at times with defenders as well, and it's been working well. Lachie Whitfield, one of the best defenders in the comp, just absolute animal, racking it up. So I think that's a really good option. But now I'm starting to get a little bit hotter on these guys for captain. So Cherry, always an option when he's playing on the Sunday as a captain. And his matchup with Nank is good. Nankervis has been one of the easiest ruckmen to score against, not just this year, but past years as well. He's always been someone that I've targeted when looking at my captains. And Cherry versus Nank, look, it'll be a battle of the big men. But this is the matchup. He had that monster. I think it was I'm just going off the top of my head here, but I'm pretty sure he had like a 180 on them earlier in the year. And a part of that was just that the Richmond game style at that time was just stoppage. And there were, I think both of them had 30 or 40 or more hitouts. There were just stoppages everywhere. So if this is another high stoppage game, Cherry could absolutely dominate. But let's be honest, this is what you're here for. Tom Liberatore and Ed Richards, captain number 3. I'm just going to combine them. I could have nearly recommended every single Bulldogs player in this podcast. There's more to come, don't you worry. But I could have done these guys. I could have done Bailey Dale. I could have done heaps of people. Could have done Bailey Williams. I'll just captain him in draft, maybe. The Bulldogs players are just going to dominate here, and Tom Liberatore and Ed Richards are some of the best, both in awesome form, both playing a lot of midfield time. I think they're really awesome captain options against the West Coast Eagles midfield that is really struggling. Number 2 is their ruckman, Big Timmy English, coming up against the West Coast ruckman, who pretty much the whole season have been the easiest to score against. I think last week GWS just popped up and pipped them, but maybe I haven't checked it this week, but I'm assuming they're still the first or second easiest. So Tim English, he's in really good form. This is his best matchup. I think he's going to dominate. Look, if you're a Tim English owner, maybe next week's going to be a bit tougher. I've got him in draft, and I've got the bye this week because I'm already through to the grand final, and I wish I had him playing this week because his game next week's not that great. But this week, he is going to absolutely dominate. So that's my number 2 captain option, Tim English. Probably no surprises here who number 1 is. The Bulldogs captain, Marcus Bontempelli. Look, this is a guy who's put up many 170s over his career, and quite a few of them this year as well. Now, match up with the Eagles, who are one of the easiest midfield matchups in the league. This could just be brutal. This could be absolutely massive. So I just don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Bont against the Eagles is as good as it gets. As I said, that was going to be quick, short and sharp. I haven't had time to do all the research and deep dive, but I have done a bit of thinking in terms of who I think is going to score the best and what order I like them in. I think it's pretty simple. If you own one of the St Kilda boys, they are the best vice captains outside of Max Gawn. If you own Max Gawn, I'd be VCing him and then captaining a Bulldog. If you don't own Max Gawn, I'd be captaining a vice captaining a Saint, captaining a Bulldog. Pretty simple. Bulldogs captains are absolutely locked on this weekend. And then VC whoever you want. Max, Nasiah, Jack, Rowan, whoever it is. Now, as I said, I was away in Broken Hill for the entire week for work, and I took some really cool photos. I had a bit of time. I was obviously doing a lot of work, but had some time in the afternoons to explore the area a bit. Took some really cool photos, and as a little thank you for watching this year, I'm just going to share some of those photos, because if there's people watching this that haven't been out to Broken Hill or kind of anywhere in that area, Western New South Wales and the beautiful desert, it is such a stunning place. So maybe these photos will inspire you to travel a little bit, to explore other parts of our country and the red remote desert. Thanks for watching. Good luck this weekend. I hope you dominate. I hope you win your leagues if you're in finals and get through to the next round and grand final. Hope you get that ranking jump you want if you're playing for leagues. See ya.